Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So I kind of have an agenda of what I want to talk about tonight, but then yeah, we'll just see how this goes. I have it loosely planned in my mind, but we'll just go with it. Okay, so first things first, I wanted to say if you guys have not yet ensured that your ambassadors are registered for the big reveal, you need to do that like as soon as possible. I'm talking anyone, working ambassadors, wholesale customers, and white lines. I have reached out to people that I have not talked to in over a year. And I posted today the message. I posted on the team page today the message that I've been sending them. I really liked it. I found it on Team Eichenhorst. I really liked it because it was really casual. It was like, hey, I don't know what's coming out on Saturday, but it's really exciting, and you might just want to register for this thing just in case. So it's starting to sink into my brain of how big this thing is going to be. It's here in Dallas. They're flying the jewels in, and I think there's 5 or 6 jewels that are actually going to be a part of revealing it all. And I think there's different layers to it, y'all. Initially we were like, oh, won't it be fun if they have different flavors of Slim? I think it's way, way bigger than that. Way bigger than just some new packaging of the triplex. I think this is going to be huge, huge game changer, company changer. I think that whatever this is going to be I think we're going to be in temporary shock for a while, whatever. I'm just anticipating that. I'm anticipating just kind of being whoa, what do we do with this? So, just from what everyone's saying. And then I showed you guys what Melissa sent me today of how she was like, you guys are going to be glad you're with me on Saturday. And I'm hoping it's because she's going to have free stuff for us, or I don't know, anyways. So have everyone under you register and hype it up. And this isn't the kind of hype, it's not empty hype, right? This hype is actually worth hyping up. So hype it up with your people. If you're like me and you don't have any local ambassadors, make sure that you guys are on your chat thread on Saturday with you and your active ambassadors. Hey guys, do you have your live feed set up? Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. And then if it were me during the big reveal, I would be messaging them can you believe this? Oh my word, oh my gosh. And because the phrase I keep hearing is that after the big reveal, you're going to want to strategize with your team. And so I'm do I schedule a Zoom for Saturday? What does this mean? So, if it were me and I'm going to be at Ruby Retreat with all the other Rubies and the Jewels, and we're all going to be jumping up and down and screaming and freaking out together. So if I were not doing that, if I were just sitting in my house by myself, I would be on chat with all you guys. I would be oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah. And I'll probably still message you guys too, but you know what I mean. So big reveal is big, and make sure people know it's big, because here's the thing. If we aren't, I was thinking of this earlier. I was it's either going to be the big reveal or the no big deal. Okay. And your team is going to pick up on that. They're either going to see that you're excited about the big reveal, or you're going to set the tone and let them know that this is no big deal, but it is a big deal. So the big reveal is a big deal, and we want to set that tone for our ambassadors. Even if you just have 3, even if you're just a brand new silver and you just have 3, make sure they know this is really exciting, because it is. Okay, so wanted to get that out of the way. I'm not going to do those type things this whole time, but I just wanted while I had you guys here to really emphasize that. Okay, what I want to get into more is what we were talking about today on our silver chat thread, and that is the mindset of a silver ambassador is kind of where I want to go with this. What should you be thinking? How should you be viewing yourself? What should you be spending your time on? You've got gold ahead of you, and the biggest jump in Plexus is from silver to gold, because you go from 3 ambassadors to 20 plus sometimes, depending on how quickly you get there and attrition and everything like that. So it's a big jump. And I so appreciated y'all's transparency today and vulnerability and just sharing like where you feel like you're at and what is holding you back. So I asked the question, if you had to pinpoint 1 or 2 things that's holding you back, what is it? And I just kind of summed it up. I've got 5 words written down that I read everything that you guys said, but then I kind of summed it up. What holds you back? Laziness, fear, coming across, laziness, fear, belief, and then these other 2 I think are kind of subcategories of those, but coming across as salesy, so being concerned with how you're coming across to people, and then also just like IPA, like actually doing the work, making the contacts, is what I heard. Before I move forward, do any of you have like anything else you would want to add as you've been thinking about it today? I feel like I've got crazy hair today. I feel like it's just like, and I told my hairdresser last week, I said, I have so much hair, please take some away. And she was like, okay, snip, 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 snip. And I'm like, no, get in there, cut it off. It's just so much. Okay. So anything else that you guys would want to add to, if you had to like pinpoint, nail down one thing, what holds you back in the business? And you can unmute yourself. All right. Feel like those things that I mentioned have our bases covered? Okay. So, we're going to set those aside. And when I think of a silver ambassador, I think you're still starting out. And some of you are like, I've been doing this for a year. I'm not starting out. Or some of you are thinking like, I've been at this for 6 months. I am not just starting out, right? You are still starting out, and be okay with that, right? Like, embrace that you are still just building your team and getting it going. That's okay. So the mindset you should have, let me say what you shouldn't have first. Don't think along the lines of, I need to, sometimes I hear you guys say like, I need to lead my team, or I need to work on my leadership skills and leading my team. And I would say those are good aspirations. Put those on hold until you are like senior gold or ruby, okay? Because at this point, it should be more, don't think so much of like, I need to be a leader. It's like a one up, one down relationship with your people. Think of it more of like, I am linking arms with them. So remember in elementary school when you'd play Red Rover, and you had like the strong link, you would link arms, or you would hold hands so tight that when someone would come running at you, they couldn't break the wall of children. You know what I'm talking about? Think of it that way, that I'm going to link arms with my ambassadors, and we're going to do this together, and we're going to be unstoppable. Okay. So it's not so much that you're needing to train your team. And I don't want to spell it out. I want you guys to have more so of the visual of you are linking arms with your team. So it's not this one up, one down trainer, learner, teacher, student relationship. It's this, let's do events together. Let's do contests together. Let's do IPA together. Let's hold each other accountable together. So you're very much like when I was starting out, it was me, Rachel, and Laura Holzman, the three of us. Rachel linked arms with us. Laura and I got started at the same exact time. Rachel was already gold. Rachel was gold. Laura and I got silver really fast. And the three of us linked arms, and we talked just about every day on a messenger chat thread, and we were learning together. Like we would send each other videos that we would watch that day of like, you guys got to watch this. Or when one of us got a new customer, like we were telling each other, it was like, got a new PC today, whoop, whoop. And we would all celebrate together. And there was very much this understanding that we were all doing IPA on a daily basis. It was just a given. We set goals together. Like for a while, Laura and I we literally got together and wrote our goals down together. And for a while, we ranked simultaneously. I mean, we ranked gold the same month. We ranked senior gold the same month. We ranked ruby within a few months of each other. And it was because we were running together, and Rachel was there with us the whole time, doing events, doing sip and sees, answering questions for us because she was our sponsor. But it never felt like, oh, Rachel's our teacher and we're going to sit under her and learn from her. It was like, no, the three of us are doing this together. So that's how you should be thinking, is when you're thinking about building your team, whether you already have a team or you're still building it and looking for business builders, you should be thinking, who do I want to do this with? And who's going to do this with me? Because at this point, that's what you should be thinking, is I need to link arms with people and do it with them, not for them. Okay? Leadership will come. Here's the thing. We have the strongest upline in all of Plexus, okay? We have amazing leadership between Melissa, Rachel, and then not boastfully, but I'll just say I'm leading you guys as well, right? And so lean on the leadership that's already in place. Don't feel like you need to step up and be a leader yet. Point your teams, as you're linking arms with your teams, you're pointing them to the leadership that's already in place. You're saying, hey, go to Amanda's trainings, watch Rachel's videos, go to Melissa's events, okay? It's already all done for you. You don't even need to do all that stuff and set all that stuff up. You just need to point your team to the leadership that's already in place. Your time for leadership will come, okay? But it really is one of those things, like it comes with the size of your team, okay? So it's one of those things you have to earn, in a sense. Can I say that without sounding cocky? It's one of those things that you've got to earn that right and that opportunity to lead a big team. But it's coming for you guys. Okay, I wrote down the word grunt work, because as a silver ambassador, oh my word, you're still at that place in your business where you are doing far more work than you are getting paid for. Your paychecks are not reflecting the amount of work that you should be putting into your business. Okay. At the beginning, it is like pushing a dead car up a hill. You have no momentum. You're just getting started. You've just got 3, 5, maybe 10 people under you. And you are just pushing this dead car up a hill. And so you are putting out tons of effort. You are hosting events. You are doing sip and sees. You are doing tons of IPA and follow up and everything like that, and not a lot to show for it. And that is normal. It is to be expected, and it should not be a source of discouragement. It should just be the way it is. That's how you have to view it. It's just the way it is. It shouldn't be like, I'm doing all this work and not getting paid. Like, my team is still small and I'm not even gold yet and all this stuff. It's like, yeah, been there. We've all been there. We've all put out a ton of work to get where we're at. And so it's a normal part. If you're feeling that, yes, that is normal. And it will come because eventually that dead car, you will get it to the top of the hill, and then it's going to go over and it's going to roll down, and you're going to ride the momentum of your team. And all of a sudden you're going to be experiencing the benefits of residual income when you're getting emails that your level 3 ambassador signed someone up and your level 4 ambassador signed someone up. And you now have a team full of people that you have never met before in your life. And yet your paycheck is reflecting it. And it's exciting. Not that we're in this for the money, but that's part of, we're in this for the money. Let's be okay with that, right? Like, we're in it for residual income and getting a paycheck. And so it will come, but oh my word, does it require so much work at the beginning initially to build that team and get over that hump, okay? So to sum that up, as a silver ambassador, you are linking arms with your team. You're saying, let's do this together. As you're building your team, you're thinking about, who do I want to do this with? You are pointing your team to the leadership that's already in place, okay? You don't need to be a Ruby ambassador because you're not a Ruby ambassador yet. You're a silver ambassador, and that is so okay. Leadership will come, and yes, there is a lot of grunt work. It's a lot of time that you're investing in your business, and your paycheck is not yet reflecting it, but it will. The other thing that came to my mind after I jotted these notes down later in the day was, I was like, you know what? The other thing that's true about about being a silver ambassador is, because it's the biggest jump, I think it is a place where you can become so easily discouraged because you're like, I've been getting the same $300 paycheck for 6 months, like, so here's what I think. And this is, I'm going to transition now into the meat of what I want to talk about with you guys tonight. And that is the personal development, the belief, the mindset, the investing in yourself, that you've got to be rock solid. If someone is pushing a dead car up a hill, what does their mindset need to be? It needs to be, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. If at any point they start to doubt their ability to push this dead car up a hill, guess what? They're going backwards, and so is the car, and they've lost all momentum, and right? Like they mentally have to be in it. I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. Your belief in yourself has to be unshakable. And I'm not talking about being cocky and arrogant. I'm talking about just a confidence of saying, I can do this. The same way I taught my 3-year-old to ride a bike with training wheels a couple months ago. The girl melts down the second that she realizes she can't do something, no matter what it is. If it's like I can't open up the Ziploc bag. It's like she's on the floor melting. Okay, so she's on her bike that she got for Christmas. Her big sister's riding circles around the cul-de-sac, and Marlo is just melting because she's sitting on her bike, and yet she hasn't even tried. And I'm dead serious. She has not even tried to push the pedal. She's like barely pushed them. She's my little drama kid. She's barely pushed them, and she's already like, I can't do it. Okay? And I had to walk her through this, give her a little nudge. I had to show her manually how to pedal. And I taught her to say, Marlo, you ready to say this with me? I can do it. I can do it. I can really, really do it. And I had this kid driving circles around, and I'm helping her. I'm like manually like helping her pedal, and I'm keeping her pushed, but I'm having her say, I can do it. I can do it. I can really, really do it. Because all she wants to do is melt down and say, I can't do it. But I needed her to say it out loud and believe it in her head in order for her body to actually do what it needed to do. Okay? And what happened? Eventually, she was saying, she was keeping that positive mindset of, I can do this, I can do this. And sure enough, her body figured it out. She did it long enough to where her body figured it out, and then the kid was riding her bike. And so what happens is if you go into this, if you go into a conversation with someone, if you go into whatever, I know people that watch diamond documentaries that have already sunk their ship because they're watching the diamond and the diamond documentary, and they're saying, I'm not like them. I could never do this. Okay, you've already sunk your ship. You've got to go into this, and you can't compare yourself with others. Quit comparing yourself with others. Don't look at me and think, I could never do what Amanda does. Yeah, you're right. You're not me. You shouldn't be doing what I do. Okay? You be you. You have to be authentic to who you are in your business. And you have to be okay with that. You have to be comfortable in your own skin. You have to be okay if you're not the most articulate person. You have to be okay if you're not the most knowledgeable person. You have to be okay if fill in the blank, whatever it is. You be you. Find out what you are good at and maximize that. Okay? So, give you an example. I'm bossy, and I'm good at being bossy, but I'm bossy because I love people, and I boss them towards something that is with their best interest at heart. So my IPA, I'm very bossy with people. When I reach out to people, I cut to the quick, and I quickly say, look, you need plexus, you need to do this, let's just do this already. And I get a little bossy with people, okay? You might think, oh my word, I could never do that. Okay, then don't do it. If you are a warm, tender, timid person, then you be that. And you love people into plexus. You like, you like take care of people and guide them towards plexus if that is what you are good at. That's not me. I'm recording it, Stephanie. No worries. I can do it. Thank you for bossing me. If you're not bossy, then don't be bossy. People come to me and say, Amanda, what do you say to people when they ask you this question? The better question to ask is, what should you say to people when they ask you this question? What feels natural to you to answer this question? Okay? Does that make sense? That I don't want you to answer the question the way I would answer it, because my answers are going to be infused with my personality. Okay? I want you to be you. So when someone comes to you with a question, you be authentic to who you are. So I'm not talking about the actual information. I'm talking about the tone, the person that you're bringing to the conversation. So, for example, I had someone, I reached out, like I posted on the team page today, I reached out to like 20 people today. I actually got one person that said, you know what, I am kind of interested. And at the end, she said, yeah, I've had people with other companies come to me, and she has RA. And so she's like me, where she has an autoimmune disease. She has to be careful of what she's putting in her body, right? She said, I told these other people, send me a list of ingredients and I'll tell you whether or not I can take it. And she said it was all junk, right? These other companies, what was in their products was fake and artificial and caffeinated and stimulants and fake sugar and everything like that. She said, but I trust you because you have an autoimmune disease. That was all she said. She said, I trust you because you also have an autoimmune disease. Okay, I have had people on my team say to me, well, people trust you because you have an autoimmune disease and you've seen these really good health results. And so they trust you. And thinking about this gal that said she's interested, I have never met her before. I met her online in a mom's group. Okay. So she does not know me outside of Facebook, but we have been Facebook friends for probably about 6 months. I think she said, this is just me, but I've got a good hunch here. She said, I trust you because you have an autoimmune disease. Well, I have met people that have autoimmune diseases that are jerks. Okay. They're not trustworthy. I wouldn't trust them. I think she trusts me because she's been watching me for 6 months and she sees that I'm trustworthy. You see the difference? And that is true of each of you, okay? So the question isn't, oh, I'm not like Amanda, so people won't listen to me or whatever, blah, 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 fill in the blank. What you should be asking yourself is, why are people going to listen to me? You need to ask yourself, why would someone listen to me? Why would someone trust me? Have I shown that I'm trustworthy? Have I shown that I'm knowledgeable? Have I shown them that I'm committed to this and I'm committed to them? Have I shown them that I'm in this to take care of people and not just to make a buck? And I know that's true. I know all those things are true of all of you on my team, but are you showing people that? Are you communicating that? And the best way to communicate it is to be yourself. There is something about just being authentic that goes so far in people's hearts and minds that they take you seriously, they trust you, and that's what this business is all about. It's about people trusting you. How many times have someone said to me, I've had people say, if it were anyone else sharing Plexus, I wouldn't do it. But because it's you, I trust you and I'll do this. And you can have that same type of relationship with anyone. It's a matter of trust. Do people trust you? Okay. So I've talked about believing in yourself. I've talked about being yourself. Being okay with being yourself, being comfortable with being yourself, being authentic. The last thing I want to talk about is those 5 things that you guys mentioned that hold you back. So laziness, I've kind of talked about belief already, and I could go on all night about belief, but laziness and fear, let's talk about that. Once you're able to identify what is holding you back, quit doing it. Okay? Once you're able to identify, if you're like, and someone said this, so I'm not picking on the person that said this, but we're all being honest here, right? Safety, we're all safe here. If you've identified that, man, I'm really afraid of coming across as salesy, then don't come across as salesy. Okay? Do you see what I'm saying here? Like, if you don't come across as salesy, then people won't take it as you being salesy. If you're afraid that you're pushing a product on them, then don't push a product on them. Just share it with them, offer it to them with no strings attached. Like that, it's it's unconditional. They can be interested, they can not be interested. It's no big deal. But in your mind, you have to be telling yourself it's no big deal. Let's talk about fear too. This is a different kind of fear that I know plagues us all. It's that fear of someone saying no, fear of someone not saying interested, of someone not being interested. Y'all, I had an aha moment at, I went to the Success event 3 weeks ago here in Dallas. You guys saw me posting about it with all the awesome speakers and everything that I went to. I had like a breakthrough moment, and I wouldn't say here's the thing. I wouldn't say I'm someone that struggles with being afraid of no, and yet I think I'm afraid of no. Like I think I know there are certain people that I don't reach out to because I'm afraid of them saying no. And here's why. For me, and this was like my breakthrough moment, one of the many at Success Live, was when you're in a conversation with someone, right? And they're kind of showing that they're interested, or you're trying to figure out, okay, they just told me that they have migraines. How do I share Plexus? Here's what we think, right? How do I share Plexus in such a way that they're going to say yes, right? Isn't that what we ask ourselves? Like, I don't want to mess this up. I want them to say yes to me at the end of the day. Now, yes, we want people to say yes because we know these products can help them and change their life. But for me, what I had to come to was saying, whether or not, how do I want to say this? The success of my business does not hang on whether or not this person says yes. Okay? The success, whether or not I go to the top of this company, has nothing to do with whether or not this one particular person says yes or no. If they say yes, awesome. I get to be a part of them taking the products and hopefully changing their life. And who knows, maybe they'll be a rock star on my team. If they say no, am I quitting the business? No. I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on, and I'm going to keep contacting people. I'm going to keep talking to people, and I'm going to keep going. So the success of my business does not hang on whether or not this person says yes or no. If they say no, I keep going. I know mentally I'm going to keep going whether or not this person says no, but in the moment, all I want them to do is say yes. Right? Is anyone agreeing with this? Is anyone like, okay. So you have got to come to terms with the fact that you will get more no's than yeses. It's just statistics. I contacted 20 people today. 7 people were kind enough to get back to me. Y'all, I'm not even kidding. Probably 5 of them said they had already tried Plexus. So I was like, whew, missed ya. Someone else got to you first. And one person, the one gal that I've never met before, responded and said, actually, I am kind of intrigued. I think once I'm done with my supplements, I'm going to try it. And then she proceeded to send me 2 pictures of her kitchen cabinet filled with supplements. I was like, oh girl, we got to take care of all this. Let's get you from 20 bottles down to 5. Okay. I've got 5 bottles that'll change your life. Anyways, statistics, you've got to be okay with more no's than yeses, because that's what you're going to get if you keep going. Okay. So laziness, I'm going to channel my inner Carrie Wilkerson. If you've ever heard Carrie Wilkerson speak, she says, stop it. Stop it. If you're lazy, stop it. Quit being lazy. Get to work. Do something. Take some action. Make a plan. Sit down with a planner. Sit down with a calendar. Sit down with a pad of paper. Do something. Just get on your phone and start contacting people. Quit being lazy. We don't have time for laziness, okay? So that's what I have to say about that. Okay, so action points. Feed yourself. Invest in yourself. I was trying to think today of, okay, if there's a pie chart for a silver ambassador that's going to show how much you're reaching out, how much you're investing in your team, and how much you're investing in yourself, I would say it's like 50% self-development, 48% IPA, 2% pouring into your teams. You've got to run. You've got to run with your income producing activity. That's what IPA is. Income producing activity. You've got to run with that. And that's not just Facebook posts. That's talking to people. And you need to invest in yourself so much. Your belief, by the time you're a gold ambassador, your belief better be rock solid. You don't have time anymore to be fearful and lazy and insecure. You will be, because we're human, but y'all see what I'm saying, right? Like when you're gold, it's go time, right? It's not, you got to go once you're gold. It's really time to run then, because you've got the dead car getting up to the top of the hill, and it's like, go, 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 go. You don't have time to be saying, I don't know if I can do it. Do it. Go do it. So invest in yourself. Read books. If you can't afford books, YouTube, y'all. Here's the thing. Even if I can afford books, I don't like books. I have never been a reader. I feel so fake when I read a book because I'm like, this is so not me. Like, I'm not a reader. I've embraced it, and YouTube is my thing. I've got like 3 or 4 people that I love on YouTube. I cannot get enough of Marie Forleo right now. Marie, Forleo. She's my new hero. I want to be her when I grow up. She has everything from 9-minute videos to 30-minute interviews with entrepreneurs, self-development people. She's so good. So if you can't afford books, go to YouTube. So there's just so much available online. Really no excuse to not be investing in yourself. Okay, personal affirmations. I'm excited to share this with y'all. I've been holding this little nugget for this time. At Success Live, the event I went to, there was a guy named Tom Billio. He is a entrepreneur, self-made man, moved to LA and went to film school and really bombed. He said it wasn't till he was about to graduate that he realized he was a terrible filmmaker. And from there, I don't know like how he got into what he's doing now, but now he owns a business. He's making bukus of money. But I heard an interview with him where it was like a Q&A type thing, and he was asked, okay, early on, when you were like bombing life majorly, you were a bad filmmaker, you were like broke, you didn't have a job, all that stuff. How did you retrain your brain, right? Because when you're in that place in life, it's really easy to just think, I'm a loser, I'm a failure, I can't do this, like this is never going to happen. It's just really easy to be in that negative mindset. And he said his answer was, it has to go back to your identity. He said, you can't just change your outward behaviors. Your behaviors come from who you are as a person. It has to go back to your identity. And I was like, love this. Oh my word. I love your answer, because that is definitely what the Lord teaches in the Bible, that it's who we are, that we have to be resting in to have our mindset to be clear and correct and based on truth. So personal affirmations is one of those things that, and I'm not kidding, for a long time in Plexus, I rolled my eyes at it. I thought it was dumb. I thought it was stupid. I thought it was unbiblical at times. I thought it was really fluffy and just like empty positive thinking. That is not what positive affirmations are. I actually learned what they are. And that's not when people say, do your positive affirmations. It's not like the joke in the 90s where you look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm smart, I'm beautiful, and gosh darn it, people like me. Like, that's not what I'm talking about, okay? It's reminding yourself of truth, okay? So for example, super simple, when you're telling yourself, or we don't even realize we're telling ourselves, but we are, when we're thinking, I can't do this, okay? That's a lie, because you can do this. So it's retraining your brain of saying, I can do this. So I love the way that he explained how he did his affirmations, because I've never heard it explained this way before. He said, because it has to go back to your identity, what he would do is he would start the sentence with, I'm the type of person that. And then he would fill in the blank. I'm the type of person that. Okay. I was talking to Chris about it, and I was like, man, for Christians, you can say in Christ, because of the Lord, I'm the type of person that. So let's say you're struggling with laziness, and it's easy for me to say quit it, but I know it goes back to our mindset, right? So let's say you're struggling with laziness and just getting work done, and it doesn't even have to be Plexus related. It could be doing the dishes, doing the laundry, making your bed in the morning, like whatever. Just you're seeing that, man, I'm just being really lazy. I know I need to get this stuff done. I'm just not doing it. I'm the type of person that sees value in getting work done. I'm the type of person that doesn't procrastinate and wait until the last minute to do something. I'm the type of person that gets things done before the deadline is even due. I'm the type of person that does her dishes as soon as they need done. I mean, you can fill in the blank with anything that perhaps is not true of you at the moment in your behavior, and yet in your core, in your spirit, like in who you are, that's what's true of you. Do you see what I'm saying? You might see that what's true of your life right now is that you're lazy, but you know that you're the type of person that values hard work, right? And so you're correcting your thoughts of, I'm a lazy person. That's not true. That's not who you are, especially in Christ. You're not a lazy person. In Christ, you have self-control. So it's because of the Lord, I'm the type of person that has self-control and I can get things done. Okay? So you're renewing your mind to be true of what's true of you. Because those things are true of you. You're just not acting in accordance with those things at the moment. Okay? So, since I learned about this, I've been using it and I'm loving it because it just sounds so natural. I'm the type of person that gets my laundry done when it's piling up. I'm not the type of person that has like disgusting clothes laying everywhere or whatever, especially with kids. Oh my word. So you know what I mean? So with Plexus, I'm the type of person that provides excellent customer service for people because I care about my customers seeing results. I'm the type of person that that consistently that works consistently because I've got goals I want to meet. So I just love that because I think once we can catch our wrong thinking of what's tripping us up, like going back to what I said earlier, once you can pinpoint and nail down what is holding me back right now in my business, you can change your thinking about it. And if it's fear, I'm afraid to talk to people, then you're saying, I'm the type of person that loves people and wants to be a part of changing people's lives. Okay. And you've just completely redefined yourself to where now you have a reason to go talk to people about Plexus. So love, love, love that. One thing that Rachel Hofseth and I were chatting today, and one thing that I love that she said, this is like random, I'm hopping to a new place now, is she said, when you get pushback from people, what do you do? How do you respond? By pushback, meaning someone says they want to sign up as an ambassador, but, they are not interested in the business at all. Okay, you get a little bit of resistance there from someone, right? They've said, I'll take the products, but I'm not interested at all in the business. And you sense that little bit of resistance. Do you push back a little or do you just let it go? I think you have to practice the skill of pushing back just a little, right? We don't want to get bossy with people and be rude to people and not respect what they're saying. But we do need to educate people fully on the opportunity at hand of what's available to them, and just simply saying, well, I understand you don't want to work the business, but if I could show you how to get your products paid for, would you be interested in learning that? And they might say, well, once I start taking the products, if I like my results, then sure. Okay, well, you just opened up a person that just said they're never interested in the business to now being interested once they see results, right? So you've got to learn to they're going to push on you and you push back just a little. You kind of test the waters and see, if they're going to push back again and say, no, really, I never want to talk about Plexus with anyone, which I've never heard from anyone. No one says that. So that was like total random rabbit trail, but I wrote it down because Rachel mentioned it today. And I was like, that's really good. I'm going to mention that to my silvers. Okay. 2 things I want to run by y'all before our hour is up. I wanted to really close it out at an hour. 2 things. One, and maybe I'll just ask this in the chat group so I can get everyone's feedback. Maybe I'll just do that. So we've got like 6 minutes left. What are you guys thinking? What questions came to mind? Unmute yourself. We don't have to talk, but we can. We're here.
I'm just going to jump in and say this kind of goes back to the question you asked today, I guess, about fear. Or not about fear, but about what's holding us back. Yeah. I don't know why, because I've heard this before, but for some reason it just clicked when you were saying it today. I think part of what has held me back is that I have lost the element of me in my Plexus business, because yes, we want to duplicate and we talk about duplication, but then I see I send out this message and it's so great. And there's always this little piece of me who reads it and thinks, I wouldn't really say that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, well, it worked for this person and they're an Emerald ambassador, and so I use it and I don't see, I don't get results from it. And then I'm discouraged. I tell myself, well, you did something wrong because that didn't work for you.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's because the things that will make me good aren't the same things that are making that person good or successful or whatever you want to say. And I think that's part of what has held me back, is I've just kind of lost me in it of, you know, what's going to work for me.
Yes.
And that just clicked when you were saying that. So thanks.
Yes. Yes. And that is what I've seen. Okay. So I've been to a personal development event every month this year, and it is making the biggest difference on me. And it's reflecting in my business, and not like meaning my business is booming, but I just mean it's reflecting in that I'm approaching things differently. Right. Mm-hmm. Now, I know my approach down the road is going to pay off. I'm going to see the results 3 months, 6 months, 9 months from now, because I'm being more authentic to myself. So yesterday, for example, my new thing is every day I ask myself, what is the most important thing I need to do today to move my business forward? And I narrow it down to 1, 2 things tops. And that's my goal for the day. I'm going to have other filler things like post on the team page and touch base with my chats and stuff like that. But for my business, what is the one thing I need to do today to move forward? And yesterday it was, for heaven's sakes, I have got to get a message together to cold contact people, because I've been doing the same thing as you, Bethany. I've been stealing stuff for months. It's never felt right to me. Yeah. I haven't seen that many results. And I was like, I have got to get me down on a piece of paper to where I can send the same message out to 20 people like I did today and actually do effective IPA. And so I got my little message together. It was like 4 sentences long, but it felt so natural. It felt like me. And it felt like the type of message that I could just shoot out to 20 people all at once. You know what I mean? Which is what the emeralds and the jewels do, is they get their little magic message, they send it out to 20 people, and they see results, because it's exactly what you're saying. And so, yes, personal development will lead you to yourself. Okay. And then that is going to reflect in your business. But I'm, oh my word, after 4 or 5 months of personal, like me focusing on personal development, I'm convinced that if you take it out of your business, you lose yourself. Mm-hmm. Like you lose yourself, and you're just bombarded with fears and insecurities and everything, because you're just going through the motions, but it's not authentic to who you are. So yes.
Yeah. And I think people I'm cold contacting, some of them probably like hardly even know that I exist, because it's random people on Facebook, but a lot of them do know me. And I think that's part of why I'm not getting a response. And in the back of my head, I kept thinking, I was so good at IPA for a while. Why am I so discouraged to contact people now? And I guess that's maybe why that clicked so much when you said it, because I'm thinking that's why I'm discouraged, because I feel like I'm working somebody else's business. Yep. I'm like sending this message that doesn't feel like me. It's not authentic to me. And of course I'm not getting a response, because people who do know me are like, who the heck is that? Like,
yeah. What?
Yeah. That's not something she would normally say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was, I need to do exactly what you did and just figure out, what can I say that's me, that someone will read that and think, oh,
yeah,
okay.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I'm going to stop recording.